In Walmart's Who Newville, joy started to grow. For online-only savings sure to steal the show. Tech treats and toys so dazzling and new. Walmart Cyber Monday deal soon ready for you. It's online only with very little time to spare. December 1st will soon be here, so be sure to be there. The Who's are prepared. Are you ready too? A day packed with savings. Amazing! Who knew? Subject to availability, terms and fees apply.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
'Tis the season for all your holiday favorites, like A Very Jonas Christmas Movie and Home Alone on Disney+.
Should I burn down the joint? I don't think so.
Then Hulu has National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
We're all in for a very big Christmas treat.
All of these and more streaming this holiday season. And right now, save big with our special Black Friday offer. Bundle Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 1 year. Savings compared to current regular monthly price. Ends 12/1. Offer for ad-supported Disney Plus Hulu bundle only. Then $12.99 a month or then current regular monthly price. 18 plus terms apply.
Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to learn more.
Introducing Oakley Meta Vanguard, the new performance AI glasses designed for athletes. With hands-free capture on an action-ready ultra-wide camera, powerful open-ear speakers, and built-in Meta AI that syncs with your Garmin devices for real-time insights while you train. Take your performance to the next level with Oakley Meta Vanguard. Athletic intelligence is here. Learn more on meta.com.
American soccer fans, welcome to episode 164 of the USA Soccer Cast. We're bringing you everything about the U.S. national teams, the players, the leagues, and everything else that impacts the game of soccer in these United States. I'm Donald Wine. We are going to talk about the women's national team after the conclusion of their second match against Italy on Monday. We're recording this on Saturday, November 29th. They won 3-0. We'll talk about that whole window on Monday or Tuesday. But for now, we got to talk World Cup draw. The United States men's national team now knows who it could potentially face in each match of the 2026 World Cup group stage. Earlier this week, FIFA released its World Cup draw procedure. Of course, the World Cup draw taking place on December 5th in my home of Washington, D.C. I will be at the World Cup draw. It's a nice, easy walk for me, and so I'm looking forward to taking that all in and being there as we learn how this World Cup group stage is going to shake out. Now, while it is complicated with some of these pots and procedures, the U.S. men's national team's matches at least have a little bit of clarity. So first, let's talk about the pots, because that's the most important thing. Of course, the United States, Mexico, and Canada are pre-drawn into groups already, but they will be a part of pot one. They will likely be drawn first. The United States obviously going to be in Group D. D is in Delta. Mexico in Group A, and Canada in Group B as in Bravo. Joining them in pot one are the top 9 teams, according to the recently released November FIFA World Rankings. That is Spain, Argentina, France, England, Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. That's pot one. So, of course, naturally, the United States will be in their own group. They will not be able to face any team from the top 9 in the world. But as we get into pot 2, 3, and 4, those are the teams which we will figure out on December 5th who will be drawn into Group D alongside the United States. Let's move to pot 2. Pot 2 the way that this is going to work is they've already kind of pre-drawn how the schedule for the group stage is going to pan out. Pot 2 will be the team that the United States faces on June 19th, on Juneteenth in Seattle in that second group stage match. They will open the World Cup against the team from Pot 3, and they will close the group stage on June 25th with the team from Pot 4 that is drawn into their group. So let's go through Pots 2, 3, and 4 in order. Pot 2, we have Croatia, Morocco, Colombia, Uruguay, Switzerland, Japan, Senegal, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Austria, and Australia. That is Pot 2. Of course, one of those teams will be drawn to face the United States on June 19th. Pot 3, this is the team that the United States will face in the opener on June 12th. One of these teams, Norway, not Panama, but Panama is also in Pot 3. Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Ivory Coast, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. That is Pot 3. Now, the final pot is Pot 4. Pot 4 includes Jordan, Cabo Verde, Ghana, Curaçao, Haiti, New Zealand, and the winners of all of the various playoffs, UEFA Playoff A, UEFA Playoff B, UEFA Playoff C, UEFA Playoff D, and then the Inter-confederation Playoff Path 1 and Path 2. Now, when it comes to Pot 4 specifically, there are certain teams that the United States can't play. Of course, every team cannot face someone from their confederation, with the exception of UEFA. We'll talk about UEFA in a second. So for that purpose, that means that in the group stage, the United States cannot face anybody from CONCACAF. That includes Panama, which is in Pot 3, and in Pot 4, that includes Curaçao, Haiti. And because both Inter-confederation Playoff Paths have a CONCACAF team in it, because they have a potential to win that path and get into the World Cup, they cannot be drawn into Group D either. So it leaves only a few teams left in Pot 4 that the United States could see in their group. Now, let's talk about UEFA. UEFA obviously has 16 teams in this World Cup once it's going to be all said and done with the playoff winners. There are only 12 groups, which means that every group will have at least one team from UEFA. They can't have more than two. And the United States have almost always had two teams from UEFA in their group stage of a World Cup. So for all intents and purposes, the playoff winners from UEFA, A, B, C, and D, those teams, no matter who they are, could be drawn into a group with the United States. Another thing that FIFA has done kind of separately from the pots is they have created pathways to ensure the best teams avoid each other before the semifinals and the final. So take the top 4 teams in the world, that is in order: Spain, Argentina, France, and England. Spain, who's ranked number 1, will be randomly drawn into a pathway. Argentina will be randomly drawn into an opposite pathway. So that will ensure that number 1 versus number 2, should they win their groups, will not meet before the World Cup final on July 19th. The same will be done for number 3, France, and number 4, England. They cannot face each other before the final. And I think that's okay, but it's weird because it obviously hinges on the fact that all these teams are going to win their group. If one of these teams should stumble and not win their group, then we're going to have chaos. But the pathway is at least to provide that pathway to all of these teams and make it where FIFA basically is trying to set up a Final Four, just like you have in the NCAA tournament. You have the 1 seeds, and all the 1 seeds can't play each other until the Final Four. This is sort of set up the same way. Now, as I mentioned, no group can have more than 1 team from the same confederation, with the exception of UEFA. And that means that if, for example, a team from Africa is drawn into our group, all the other African teams that are left cannot be placed in our group. Same with Asia, same with Oceania, should New Caledonia make it. But let's take a quick break, because on the other side, we just talked about the pots, we talked about the pathways, we talked about procedures. What's the ideal group for the United States, and what could be the worst option? We'll talk about it after this.
I know every operating system like the back of my hand.
I have 25 years of experience and have worked with several people from your company. I've been recognized for my passion. My team is everything.
LinkedIn delivers candidates who rise above the rest. With an up-to-date view into shared connections, skills, and interests you won't find anywhere else. See why 86% of small businesses who post a job on LinkedIn get a qualified candidate within a day. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/achieve. LinkedIn, your next great hire is here.
Are you a forward thinker? Then you need an HR and finance platform that thinks like you do. Workday is the AI platform that helps propel your organization, your workforce, and your industry into the future. Workday, moving business forever forward.
This episode is brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. What do you bring to a holiday party? Simple. A bottle of Casamigos. Because nothing gets the party started like a Casamigos margarita, which isn't just for summer. In fact, it's the perfect pour all year round. Casamigos is the gift that always feels right, because anything goes with my Casamigos. Please drink responsibly. Imported by Casamigos Spirits Company, White Plains, New York. Casamigos Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume.
Good morning, Crust. It's a great day to be a bread brother.
Ugh, mornings are not my jam. Or jelly.
Oh, come on. Stop loafing around.
I just woke up feeling hollow inside.
Just grab one of the new Morning Uncrustables sandwiches, like Bright-Eyed Berry or Up an Apple, filled with 12 grams of protein and tons of deliciousness. Crust, what are you eating?
It's just granola, not even yogurt.
No crust, no fuss. Uncrust your mornings.
Okay, Chad. Today you're gonna drive the all-electric Toyota BZ.
But my electric vehicle phobia. I'm not ready, Dr. Ross.
I believe in you.
Oh my gosh. We're inside it.
Try to take deep breaths, okay?
The ventilated seats, they're touching me.
You can do this, Chad. Drive the car. How do you feel, Chad?
I feel cured. Woohoo! I'm doing it!
The all-electric BZ. One drive can change your mind. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey everyone, are you looking for the latest gear for your U.S. national teams, Major League Soccer, the NWSL, or any other team in the world of soccer? The USA Soccercast has affiliate partnerships that are ready to help you out. Head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast, where we have links to Homage, Fanatics, the MLS Store, and Breaking Team. You can get the jersey, shirt, hat, or accessory you're looking for to support your team, while also saving some money and helping this show in the process. Again, linktree.com/USA Soccercast. Click on the links and get your gear. And we thank you as always for your support of the show. We are back and we are talking World Cup draw. Of course, the World Cup draw coming up on December 5th. And we now turn our attention to the basic question that we have now that we know the pots. What do we want? What does the United States want in their group? Who do they want in their group to make it the easiest possible? But also, who are the doomsday scenarios? Who are the teams that we want to try to avoid in this group stage of the World Cup? We obviously don't have to worry about pot one because we're in pot one. And so all of those teams in the top 9, we don't have to worry about during the group stage. Let's focus on pot 2 for a second, because there's a couple of ways you can kind of look at this. And for me, I think the ideal team that you would probably want out of this pot is Austria. Australia obviously is the quote weakest team, or the lowest ranked team at 26th, but Austria is second lowest at 24th. They're also a UEFA team. And I mentioned before the break that every group is going to have at least one UEFA team. So why don't we aim for hopefully drawing Austria? Because one, that gives us our UEFA team. It's still one of the weaker teams in pot 2, theoretically. And it makes it less of a chance for us to draw one of the playoff winners out of pot 4, and we'll get to pot 4 in a little bit. But I think Austria, and then if we don't get Austria, a team like Australia, maybe even Ecuador, who we drew back in October, those would be teams that would be ideal in our group. Now, out of pot 2, I think the team you most want to avoid if you're the United States is Morocco, because that wave is tremendous. And every time we face Morocco in any World Cup over the last couple of years, whether it be a World Cup, Olympics, Youth World Cup, it has not gone well. We beat them in 2022 in a friendly, but since then they have been on a meteoric rise, and we probably want to avoid that wave as long as possible. You also have teams at the top like Croatia, Colombia. Croatia's 10th in the world, Morocco's 11th, Colombia's 13th. And then you have Uruguay, who, of course, we just blasted, but I don't think anyone expects that to be, that kind of a blowout in the World Cup group stage. Should we face Uruguay and all of its top players, that'll be more of a contested match. And then even the rest of, pot two, very strong teams: Switzerland, Japan, Senegal. We've seen Iran in a World Cup. We've seen South Korea at a World Cup. We just saw them in September where they blasted us. And I think when you're looking at this group, there's still a lot of teams out there that are dangerous. But I think the most dangerous out of this group would be Morocco. So let's try to avoid that if possible. Let's move to pot three, because pot three, again, has some other options here. I think the best case scenario, the ideal team we would want is Uzbekistan. They're 50th in the world. They're not the worst team in pot three. I keep saying worst. I should say the lowest ranked team in pot three. All these teams are good. But I also think that Uzbekistan is a team we've seen before. They have a weird style and we're used to it. We've seen it before and we'll be ready for it. And for that opener, I think we'll have a big advantage against Uzbekistan, because pot three is the team that we will see in that World Cup opener on June 12th. You also have South Africa, the lowest ranked team in pot three at 61st. Saudi Arabia and Qatar bring some political connotations that might elevate the nature of that match. But South Africa would be a decent team, I think. But I think the most ideal team is Uzbekistan. The worst option for us would be Norway. Norway, with Erling Haaland, who's arguably the best striker in the world, who puts in goals in bushels. That would be a huge test for the very opening match of the World Cup. And you don't want to get out on the wrong foot to start this World Cup. You want to start out with a win, and Norway would present some real challenges for the United States. They're the 29th ranked team in the world. They're the strongest, or the most highest ranked team in pot three. Yes, if you draw Austria and Norway, then we don't have to worry about one of the UEFA playoff winners. But man, that's a tough task for the first two matches of the World Cup. Egypt would also be difficult because their style of play is weird. They also have Mohamed Salah, who's, again, a terrific striker and really feared by a lot of people. And it would present an interesting task for the first match of the World Cup. Now, let's move to pot four, because pot four presents a lot of interesting combinations here. For one, there's 12 teams in each pot. So pot four has 12 teams, of which 6 of them are slots for playoff winners, the 4 UEFA playoff winners and the 2 Inter-confederation Playoff winners. The Inter-confederation Playoff Path 1 and Path 2 slots are not available for us because, as I mentioned before, both of those paths include CONCACAF teams. We can't play them. We obviously can't play Curaçao. We can't play Haiti. And if we draw 2 UEFA teams, then yes, the UEFA playoff teams are out of commission. If we draw an Asian team earlier, that takes Jordan off the table. So now you have Cabo Verde, Ghana, and New Zealand. The ideal is New Zealand. We've never faced an Oceania team in the World Cup. New Zealand's a team we've seen before. Obviously, a team that Americans would feel that they would, be able to handle, or at least would not necessarily be easy, but at least a team they'd be able to handle and be ready for. And with pot 4 being the final team that they see in the group stage, that could come with it a lot of implications about winning the group, advancing out of the group, that third place slot that might be available. You want to get max points out of this last game and make it where you ensure that you are going to the next round, to the knockout stage. And playing an easy team would help in New Zealand. But I think the worst option would be if we got specifically UEFA Playoff A, because that includes number 12 Italy. And Italy has been struggling. They have struggled all World Cup qualifying. They had to fight to finish second in their group and advance to this playoff, but they're still the number 12 team in the world. They have not been to a World Cup in 2 previous cycles. This would be the 3rd straight cycle if they cannot get out of this playoff group. But even if they don't get out of there, Wales is a really tough team as well. And we've seen them in a World Cup. We know how hard it is. Yeah, there's no Gareth Bale, but we know how hard it is to defeat them. That would be a tall task and really a difficult task for the United States to walk into that match needing points on the final match day of the group stage. I don't think anybody wants that. We should be ready for it, but that would maybe be the worst option. There are strong teams in all of these UEFA playoff teams, including Turkey. That would be an interesting one. But I think playoff A with Italy or even Wales would be a formidable opponent for the final group of the group stage. So there it is, my ideal group, at least for me. And we can talk about this in the comments. We have an article about this at starsandstripesfc.com. You can go there. My ideal group: USA, Austria, Uzbekistan, and New Zealand. And the worst option: USA, Morocco, Norway, and UEFA Playoff A. That would ensure that Norway at 29th in the world would be the lowest ranked team in that group, with potentially 3 teams in the top 20 of the. So obviously I would like to avoid that. I'm sure some of you out there would like to avoid it. There's World Cup simulators out there where you can kind of go through this and sample all this and go back and forth with your friends, but keep the conversation going. The World Cup draw is only a few days away, and we're going to be talking about it as we move along. But that will do it for episode 164 of the USA Soccer Cast. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can find us on Blue Sky, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us on all of those sites at USA Soccer Cast. Subscribe, rate, and review our shows. It helps us get in front of new people and is greatly appreciated. Tell your friends about us. Finally, head to linktree.com/USA Soccercast to check out our affiliate links and our stimulus store. We have everything you need to watch the beautiful game and follow your teams, and using these links also helps support the show. We'll talk to you again soon, y'all. Peace.